Alright, I'm going to do a review for Devil Slayer Raksasi. This is a pretty cool uh, melee roguelike. However, this port leaves a lot to be desired. There are a lot of performance issues. I'm not really going to comment on the game itself that much because A, I'm not very good at it. I openly use the easy mode to try to get the feel of the game, and I like that they have that. I like that you can get some items and stuff without stressing yourself out about dying so much and not really making much vertical progress. However, the frame rate is pretty rough, and this is a pretty demanding game. I'm not talking about the performance of the game or how taxing it is on the hardware. I'm talking about having to dodge attacks and parry and pay attention to what the enemies are doing. So when you don't have a frame rate that works properly, it makes that even harder. So one thing that's nice is they actually allow you to see the frame rate in the upper left-hand corner. So check in the upper left-hand corner of whatever device you're watching this on, and you'll see the frame rate. You'll get a pretty good example of how rough it can get. Alright, let's go back to the beginning. I have to commend this team. I mean, this game's got a ton of content, especially for a three-person team. But I feel like this port definitely does need some work. Okay, so I maxed out this character, so let's just play through like a level or two. Hopefully, I'll get some items that will show how bad the frame rate can get. I don't know if this is just my system or not. I mean, it's very likely that it could be. I know some people have said some recent releases, like Capcom Arcade Stadium, that game tanks the frame rate a lot. There's a lot of inconsistencies in the emulation and stuff, but they only happen on certain platforms. But at the same time, I really don't think that's the case. I think it just it can't handle a lot of the effects. It's got a lot of the standard performance issues that a lot of other roguelikes have, when you have like a lot of enemies on the screen, or a lot of status effects are being applied, like when you have fire. I did a run offline at my kitty sitting job today to prepare for this port review, and it was basically a summoner run. I had a bunch of extra minions following me, and basically the frame rate was always at 30 or below. If I started putting out other crap during that time, it would pretty much just straight up freeze. I definitely think that's something they need to fix. I think I'm ever going to be equipped to do an overview for this. I did buy the game on PC too, so if I do that kind of content, I'll probably just do it on the PC version, where the performance is not an issue. As you can see here, if you pay attention to the frame rate on there, you can see not really holding 60. Right now, it's not even really that intense at the moment. I don't have a lot of particle effects and stuff on the screen. This is one of the items I got last time. I had this and like a bunch of spiders and an ogre, and it was just a mess. I would get to a boss and I couldn't even really react to the attacks in time because the frame rate was not holding up. It's a very nice looking game though. I like the ancient Chinese theme. translation is very good. I'm actually shocked at how good the translation is. If you look at this, it's all proper English. If you've ever played any other foreign roguelikes, you know that generally, if there's any reading involved, you can kind of just kiss you any chance of looking at the lore goodbye, because the translations usually aren't good enough to warrant it. But these guys actually went the extra mile. I don't know if they're fluent English speakers or not, but whoever translated it did a very good job. I haven't ever felt like I couldn't tell what an item did because of the the poor translation. So this game used to have an easy mode. It seems like from what I played, it would be better to start on that so that you can get some items and learn how the enemies attack and stuff. You definitely can't really button mash in this game. So it's nice to have that little bit of a crutch that you can ease yourself into it. But now they just straight up gave you a cheat mode. So you can heal yourself, you can add currency to unlock stuff, or you can give yourself these jade pendants, which are basically revives. Which I think is a really cool mechanic to have. You pretty much always have a bunch of those if you save them up. So you can get into situations where you keep dying, but you have chances on the boss to actually hit the attacks. The game will also let you. The game will also let you. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Let you train against enemies you've fought before, which is nice too. Here's a good example he's taking right now. Very unresponsive. Unlock a lot of things that increase the amount of rooms that spawn. You can see how much of the slideshow this is. Regardless of whether you care about the frame rate or you're sensitive to it or not, you can. I think everybody can agree if you have a very intensive game like this, and you need to have a consistent frame rate. In a game like this, you want people to feel like death is their fault, not the poor performance really impacting what they can do and how they can react. Readability of attacks. a bit like Isaac. You don't really have that many items at the start. The items seem to give you a lot of cool synergies and builds and stuff. So at the beginning, you're really going to have to rely on skill. So you can make some busted builds just to fit in their Discord. But I'm not at that level yet. But that just kind of amplifies the issue. The performance doesn't really let you play the way you'd want. Scrolls are what you use to take them through the NPC. It's very similar to Dead Cells. Pretty much just the blueprint system verbatim. You have to survive through a level, and then once you get to that point, you can trade them in and get new items to unlock. Same deal. You have currency, the souls, and you use those to unlock things. Let's see how unresponsive this gets. It's very choppy. It's not a consistent frame rate at all, which for a kind of game like this can be a death sentence. I'm not blaming that death on the frame rate, but definitely have been some deaths I've had in this. Obviously, that's not the kind of this game. Some of the bosses in this game are definitely not fun. He just runs away and teleports. This bodies in any game. This game has the same rule of thumb that any melee action game has. The best bosses are the ones that are just dudes with swords. You know, this game takes from a lot of Chinese, which is cool as a concept, but when you get bosses like this, sometimes it feels like they are designed to get on your nerves. You find bosses like this that run away to be very fun. I think the humanoid bosses in this very quick openings and when to attack them. frame rate hasn't been too bad this run, but as soon as I start stacking stuff like damage over time and fire on attacks and things, it's when it gets like borderline unplayable, which is a shame because you can see the potential of this game. You got a bunch of stuff unlocked here. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. The runs are a little bit too long, and I'm not really good enough at the game. I don't really think people are gonna want to see me use this menu. I actually didn't use it that much during that run. It's mostly just on that boss. It's nice that they give you that, especially if you played the game on PC. This was in early access for about a year. So if you want to double dip on this game and you want to get your stuff back, they make it pretty easy. You can easily just unlock pretty much everything as you get it, and you would not need to grind at all. Likewise, if you want to just unlock the things that require beating the game, you can just heal yourself and give yourself revives too. The revive system is really nice. It helps to facilitate the bosses being difficult, and they can be kind of hard to read on a first attempt, but it kind of circumvents the issue that a lot of these difficult roguelikes have, where they'll give you some BS boss that just kills you in 2 hits, and then you're back to the beginning, even though you're 20, 30, 40, or even an hour, 20, 30, 40 minutes, or even an hour in. I like that they have that system so that, even if it probably will still inevitably end your run, you're at least going to be able to look at them for a while and get a feel of their moveset, or how you want to approach the fight, and look at your build and how that helps and things. But then they also let you train against every enemy you fight as well, so even if you get bodied, you can easily just go back to the training room and get things from there. You can figure out their moveset and stuff. Overall, this is a pretty good game. I do think that the weapons need more moves, but the main issue with this port is the performance. If you want to check out this game, it is going to be leaving early access today on PC. I would recommend just getting it on PC. I imagine there must be something wrong with this port. I think it's just Unity sometimes doesn't run very well on Switch, and maybe they haven't really learned how to optimize the game yet. I definitely don't want to sound like I'm hating on the game. I definitely had a lot of fun playing it today, but there definitely have been some instances where I feel like when the frame rate drops below 30, it's very hard to play, and that's not the kind of thing you want with a game like this. It's kind of the same thing people complain about in games like Bloodborne. Bloodborne is a little bit similar to this game. Obviously, it's 3D, it's better graphics and bigger budget and stuff, but same kind of concept, brutally hard melee combat, and that game runs at like barely 30 FPS too. If that's not your thing, I would definitely recommend getting it on PC. In a game like this, you definitely want to feel like most if not all of the deaths are your fault and not the game's fault. And unfortunately, when the frame rate doesn't really allow you to react in the way that you would normally, I think that really holds the game back. I'm going to contact them on Twitter and see what they say, but for now, I would recommend holding off. I did buy this game myself. I did not get a review key for either version, so when there's a patch, I'll definitely let you guys know. Thanks for watching.